Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Amber, how's it going?
I am great. How are you?
Doing good. Super excited about tonight. Super
Yes.
excited about our guest. Yay!
Yes, I agree.
Um, Before we bring him on, though, couple of things. I don't know about you, but I just finished watching Legion's cast, and that was
Absolutely the same down.
fantastic.
Yes.
And wanted to share their prediction. Well, what they said as a collective group, who were the best female figures, and I thought it was pretty good. What'd you think?
I think they knocked it out of the park.
I think they did too. It was really good. Couple of ones I didn't agree with wholeheartedly, but for the most part, I think they did a great job. But yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I thought they did a good job at it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and then exciting news. Look at Cloud. I don't think Gracia should have been included. On Legion's Lair on Tuesday, they had Kevin Boots, and Kevin gave the guys on Legion's Lair a bunch of pictures to give away. And the two female pictures he has graciously given to the Legion's ladies to give away tonight. So I am super excited, and we are going to give away two of those photos of Kevin Boots today, and I'm super excited. Did you see those?
Yes, they're great.
Aren't they
They're
beautiful?
they're so perfect.
Yeah. So we're going to give those away a little later, and so you guys get ready to enter. We'll do that in just a little bit after we bring up our special guest tonight. So if you want to say hey to some of the people in the chat, let's see who else here
For
tonight.
sure. Let's scroll up here. We have first up there was Bill. Then we have Lauren coming in second. We have Van, Dave Orkin, Schmerber. We have more Van. We have Kirby Smith, Kevin Boots. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Purple Gang, Andy the Collector. We have Keithlin,
Hey, Keelan.
Brett. Great photography, Brett. It's not talked about enough. we have Cloud, Cloud, Stacy Lynn.
Hey.
We have Kevin McCoy.
Hey.
Hi, Kevin. Who else do we have? We have Steph Ork. Hi, Steph.
Steph.
Let's see. Raylan, hello. Mark Halseal.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Still scrolling. Hold on. Maybe there's more. Hold on. I think I missed someone. I know Jesse's in there somewhere. Oh, there he goes. Hi, Jesse.
Hey, Jesse.
I saw him in the comments. All right, let's see. And that. Oh, Thomas. Hi, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas.
Photo Gumby. Edgardo.
Hey.
Yep. Brian Lynn.
Hey, Brian.
And Brad through Lauren. And Ken Poole.
All right. Well, if you are not subscribed yet, please go out and subscribe. Hit the little button so you know when we go live. We would love to have some more subscriptions. And thank you guys for watching the videos on, afterwards. It is great.
Yeah.
Let us bring up the man of the hour, who we are super excited to join us today. Hey, Walter! Woohoo!
Yeah, I just jumped on. Say hi real quick, honey.
Hey!
Hi!
Hi! Oh, how sweet!
Wiener dog, short appearance, and my beautiful wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's get the whole effect.
Oh,
There
it's
it
so
comes.
cool.
Oh, awesome. That
I'm
is
so easy.
fantastic.
I'm super easily amused. I got that on my phone. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Just hanging out and waiting to be on the Legions Ladies show.
Well,
Is it show or podcast, StreamYard? What?
I
I
just
don't.
said Legion's Ladies Live. That kind of covers it all because we don't know what to call it either.
That works.
Nope.
Because we're live.
We're live.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that works. I'll do that. Welcome to Legions Ladies Live. Yeah. So
That's right. Legion's Ladies Live. It just works. It's
LL.
say hi.
very good.
Say hi real quick.
Right off the top.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you, huh?
He's so cute.
He is. He's excited. He's running around trying to get him to settle down for a minute and find his homework because he's still doing his homework, but he's playing with his puppies, and so
I used to have a
distraction.
yeah.
I used to have a boy, Walter. I remember all of those days.
If you want another one, I could ship them right out to you.
Mine's 23 now. We're past that part. But it doesn't change. It's still difficult, even though
they just get older and want more expensive shit. Is what
That's exactly right.
I know.
Oh. So we are super excited to have you on, and we are going to start at the beginning because there are a lot of new people that has joined the Cabal and that has come into the Legions era. And so we just kind of want to go back to the beginning and kind of ask, where did you learn about Mythic Legions? How did you get involved? What was like the start of your Mythic Legions journey?
Lord. Oh, so in a galaxy far, far away, or how do these stories start? I mean,
that's about it.
I was like so many other people, found it kind of indirectly through somebody and saw it online. I've kind of been around not since the beginning. I just didn't buy into the first Mythic Legions wave. I saw previous stuff like Gothropolis and the animal figures, and I just never bought them. And I used to collect other items, and then I had been early days of like when Instagram first kind of started up, and I was watching people get these Mythic Legions in, and they would put them in with like Motus and the He-Man stuff and other background characters. They were like, people would have like the skeleton guy in the background, and they're fighting him off and stuff like that. Like He-Man's battling the skeleton, and I was always like, man, those are cool. Like, what is that? So that's kind of where it started, and I knew a couple like photographers online. Like I said, this almost 10 years ago, to where you'd see like Instagram photos, and it would be here and there, and it was so more raw than where it wasn't a lot about the hashtags and followings, and it was just scrolling through and looking at pictures as fast as you can, and less of the videos and the pop-up silliness that it is now, or even like the elaborate photos that like we see. Like it was just, I want to say it was more raw, like it wasn't like a lot of digital add-ons or AI or anything.
Right.
So there was a lot of that kind of stuff, like, and then of all people, like Ray Wu was a guy that I used to follow and talk to quite often, who is the figure Rhaegor is named after. He was a friend of mine online, and I would text with him back and forth, and he would tell me at times, like, man, well, you need to get some of these figures and this, and these are awesome, and buy this, and I finally was kind of like, all right, I had extra money, and I was a stay-at-home dad, 10 years ago, and finally got to the point where like I had a little bit of money, and I was like, all right, man, I'm going to buy one. So sure enough, I, was able to buy, like my first figure, and then I got one in hand, and then I, got like a second figure, and I was like, okay, like these are cool. I need to get a lot of these. So yeah. So it was definitely fun in the beginning, and finding the figures and, talking to people online. And I'm a talker, so it's one of those scenarios where it's just like just asking and like, what's that? And where'd you get this? And who's this? And who's that? And so it turned into one of those things, like you find more and more information about the guys that were like in the, the Kickstarter and where they were coming from. And I'm like, oh, I know who the Four Horsemen are. They used to work for McFarlane and, that kind of stuff.
So we've had several asking you what that first figure was.
Oh, I know some people probably know, and I've told stories like this on other shows and everything else. But my first figure was one of the Barbarian builders, because I originally I'm a He-Man fan. I love that kind of stuff. I love like the big broody guy with just the big swords, and that's all it is, and simple. And then seeing those first photos out there of the Barbarian builder, and it came with just so much cool stuff. And I liked like the dark, basic black type of armor where it's nothing fancy. I'm not a big shiny gold knight type of character. I'm just like, the dark bad guy type of look. And there again, it was like getting the Barbarian builder. He came with, a couple heads, multiple different types of armor, tons of weapons. Like you basically get like 2 whole figures in one pack, and for the price and everything. And it was just like, okay, this is cool. And I could set him up different ways, and I would have old photos of him like battling like He-Man or my, other characters. So he made like a great background character. And then when I started, seeing stuff on YouTube and watching like CB talk about him at like a San Diego Comic-Con with Pixel Dan, and they're like, oh yeah, this is like a pop and swap. You can pop this and make this into different characters and do this and do that. And I was just like, oh my God, like I need like so many of these. Like, this is nuts, because once I had it in hand and I saw how the Barbarian, I'm like, okay, I need like another one of these so I can make like a dozen figures out of like the one guy or the 2 guys. The next thing I know, I have like 2 of them, and there's a dozen different things, so.
And now you have your own figures.
And now I have my own figures.
That's right. They are pretty awesome. So how did the Cabal come out of this? Because it's a great community.
Yes.
The Cabal kind of started as it was one of those things like in like God's honest truth. Like I was on other groups, and I would see like the interaction with people, and it was pretty negative. It was like one of those things, like you would see people like interacting, and like how, people kind of say and they say things to each other. And I wanted it to be a lot different. I wanted to just have better interactions with folks, and how it was. Sorry, my son's like cooking something on my left over here. It was one of those scenarios where like I saw people being interacted with and being treated like poorly, and I just didn't get it. Like I'm like, why is this person treating that person that way? And I'm like, that's not how I do that. Like I try to treat everybody as best as I can, and love talking to people and the interaction, and from I mean, everybody under the sun. I just try to give them my time and talk to them and everything. And these other groups were just not like that, and they were like getting stuff deleted. People would post like a picture up, and there was like a He-Man in the figure, in He-Man figure there, and then they'd have like a Malleus next to it, and they'd be like, oh, that doesn't, they would delete it and be like, that's not part of this. We're not you got to show only Mythic Legions in this group. And I'm like, dude, that's not cool. And then it finally got to the point where it was like a friend of mine had just been like super insulted by the admin and more or less kind of bullied down and, kicked out of the group and things like that. And I was like having back and forth with the group. And I'm like, why, dude, why are you doing that? Like, the guy doesn't know. He's just posting stuff that he likes and he's showing his photos and his art. And they're just like, man, F that. You can't post that in here. And it turned into one of those things. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to, it's not that hard. I'm going to make my own group. And I just would invite people and just say, hey, come do whatever you want. Come be cool, be nice. The only thing I want you to do is just don't cuss and swear in my group. And I'm not going to put rules up, but let's all be respectful. And if, that's all I want. And it just kind of went from there. And even had incidents where, guys like Jeremy Gerard was getting blocked and stuff deleted on these other groups. And I would, before he worked for the Four Horsemen, he was just a fanboy like me, where guys like Jeremy were, getting stuff taken down. And I'm like, dude, come over to my page and just post stuff. And I like your stuff. Like, let's do this. And he, sure enough, came over to our group and it just really started to take off. And next thing you know, it just kind of steamrolled and, so.
Well, a couple of things here. Cloud said here and said something to us earlier. There's really no place like the Cabal when it comes to people being accepted, and she doesn't get that in most places, so it means a lot to her. And the kindness that brings people together, and the Cabal to me feels like really is a family. After a while, you get so much, friends and stuff, and then you get to see each other at some of the toy shows, and then you go to Legions Con and get to hang out, and it's just it's a really, really great place. And so Thank you for starting that and for getting the ball rolling. I need to go up there. You. I think Eric Miller had a comment. Did you see his comment?
Yes.
So tell little Walter that Eli and Isley miss him and ask to hang out with him frequently.
Oh, good. I mean to always text Eric about that, because my son had the best time hanging out with Eric's kids, and he now tries to do the Rubik's Cube and all that kind of stuff, just like Eric's son. And he still talks about it to this day when, hey, are you going to the show, Daddy? You think Eric Miller's going to be there with his family? And I'm like, I don't know, but I can find out for you. And it's like, do you think these guys are going to be there? Do you know if Dennis Derby is going to be there? Because I need to talk to him and show him my paintings and my drawings. And so it's this, like, my son's now getting to know everybody and stuff like that. But
you are
so
never
cool.
going to be able to come back to Legions Con alone again.
Never.
Okay. I'm okay.
Let's see.
I don't know what I want right now.
Okay.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Steph has
Sorry.
a question too. She says, Walt, curious if you have any Gothropolis figs.
Okay.
If so, what are they?
I never, the Gothropolis stuff, I'm so picky on what I collect. I don't have a ton of space. I mean, I got a nice house and it's taken care of, and I don't have a lot of display space. I'm not a guy that has to have every single thing. What?
How do we clean this?
Just put it down. Sorry, son's cooking in the background. So, yeah, and you're noisy.
And it's a great skill to have.
He's cooking spaghetti, so
that's awesome.
It's one of those scenarios where it's just like, I'm lucky, and I that's all I can say is I just genuinely enjoy it. I'm kind of a loss for words at times, where it's just like I I know all different kinds of people from what I do, going kind of back to like how Cloud was saying a minute ago. And I'm lucky to meet people like, you know, I'm lucky to meet people like that. It's just,
Right.
you meet all types of people and everybody under the everything. It's just, it's so fun and the nicest people. And I just genuinely, I find, you know, I love talking to Cloud and her information and her knowledge on stuff that there's times where you look in the group and she's answered 20 questions before I even like see something. And it's just so awesome. And then, you know, you go to the shows and, you know, you see, like I see your guys as husbands and I see them regularly and you guys, and I'm just like I haven't skipped a day, and it's been like a year since I've seen somebody, and it's just like, oh man, I need to hang out with them and do this. And what are you guys up to? Like, did you buy something? You know, it's just that friend familyhood type of thing that I always wanted from a group. So, and then like Steph said and asked, no, I never got into the goth choppers. There's a couple birds and stuff in there that I'll be like, oh man, I'd buy that in a second. But it doesn't fit my craziness.
So I know from seeing your post that Malleus is a favorite of yours. How did he become a favorite of yours?
He was one of those characters like way in the beginning, like I was rambling, and the start of the video was just that when I got the barbarians and then I got skeleton builders, and I was always a fan of like Harryhausen, like the Sinbad movies and Jason and the Argonauts, and the older series movies where it was all about like stop motion animation. And I was always like fascinated with it. I've always liked the skeletons and the undead army because, like, to me, like, you know, you would have those, you know, those characters come up in movies, and you know, here they are chasing chasing the good guys. They're bad guys, and there's just masses of them and undead armies. And I was just fascinated, like how cool they looked. And then to me, like when I saw like the skeleton builder in hand when I first got one, he was like a really great looking character, but he was like missing that paint apps. But I didn't understand at the time, like he's a builder. It doesn't have all the paint apps. It's a basic character. And then like, I think I had a few of them and I was trying to like recreate that type of style. And I was like, oh man, like got a couple skeleton builders and He-Man's battling the skeleton guys. And it just didn't look right. And I saw this cool post and a picture that, you know, like I said, followed Ray Wu online. And then I think I saw Sergeant Bananas make a few photos and other guys. And I saw Malleus, and then I'm like, oh my God, like that's just a cool character. Photos are always great, but it's that joke that I love giving someone like Trevor Williams and Nate and all these just amazing photographers that I can never do that type of photo. But you get that figure in hand, and it's just something like clicks for me. And it's that, you know, it's that green and that metallic and that armor color and like the dirty bones that he looks like Malleus looks like he just, you know, he's just like, I'm not dead, you know, and he's just like, I'm going to kill you. And that was like the coolest thing ever. And as soon as I got one, next thing you know, it led to like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 of them and still counting. And it's just become like, you know, my tribute type of character and the running, you know, I trade people for stuff. I'm like, you know, they're like, well, I need a dwarf. Well, I go, I got one, you know, and they're like, would you trade me for it? I go, well, do you have a Malleus? And they're like, no, but I can get you one. I'm like, cool. You know, and I'll send them, you know, like a rare figure that they were looking for just because they sent me a Malleus in trade. So it just turned into one of those, like, he just looks like he popped up from the ground, and he's the, you know, that mass skeleton army that I needed in my life, apparently. So,
well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I have a
Yeah.
Yes, and we are actually going to give him away tonight
Nice.
in honor of you.
Thank you.
So
You
we
can
are
give
going
you can give them to me. I mean, I could always use more.
well, we're going to give him away to somebody else so they can
I'm
trade you for
gonna go offline for a
something
second.
you've got for Malleus. But I had one of those, and I was like, "Yep, we're gonna make that trade today." So we're gonna see if we can give one away in honor of you because that's your favorite character. Walter, are you there?
He pulled one of your tricks.
He did. He'll be back, hopefully. All right. While he is coming back, oh, there he is. And you're back.
Sorry about that. Somebody was like calling me. I'm like,
Oh.
what the heck?
Don't call me while I'm on the show.
I know, right? Like, come on, I'm talking.
So, does your son Walter share your collection of legions, or does he have his own legions?
It's kind of a combination. He's probably the luckiest kid in the world with Mythic Legions. I mean, unless you're Eric Treadaway's kid, I mean, you like it's hard to beat what I have in my collection and what he gets to play with, and I don't mind him playing with like customs and all that kind of stuff, and he does ask, and he knows like certain figures I like to where I'm like, I can't replace that. So if you're gonna like pick up, this character, let me know what you're gonna do with it at least. And he's at the age now; he just turned 10. That he knows that like, I have custom painted figures by like Eric Miller and Nikki Nicole and Dennis Derby and so many other people that I just admire and I've gotten gifts from and paid for and searched out and things like that, to where like I have a couple rare pieces, and he's cool with it. Like he'll go and say, hey, is it okay if I and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, just don't mess it up. Like I can't replace that.
Right.
And he gets it. So, and he's been that way. It's been great because he's been that way for years, since he was real little. And I would show him stuff and let him play with things. And he has probably a dozen more figures of his own that he's always going. And then he gets my whole like fodder bin collection, which is just absurd. And I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, if it's like, hey, you want a Malleus axe here?
Right.
Like you can have a Malleus axe. There's only like 8,000 of them over there. So, but he's very good about it, and he loves it, and all that good stuff. And I just think it's great. Like I got something in the mail today, and immediately we're like playing with it and swapping the head on it, and he's like breaking down like, look at this and what's that and where's this from, and I'm just like, I got to get online. Here, go away. Like, go play with the new toy. I don't care. Like I'm supposed to be online in like 2 minutes. Like we'll figure this out later. So, but
Well, that's awesome.
He's super awesome with it. And
so another question is Jasper. How
yeah.
did you start carrying Jasper around? Where did that come from?
Oh man, Jasper turned into like an obsession, and it was because of meeting and hanging out with friends at like you guys at ZoloCon, and I love the trolls. I love big, huge action figures. Like I've always been that way, and the trolls to me are just like one of the coolest things. And I've always wished there was like more accessories to it, and they were more articulate. But like, hey, I get it. They're like this big, and they are what they are, and I think it's fascinating. I know they have like fingerprints and footprints, and and you could see like the drool off of them, and I just think they're great. And it turned into one of those things where like, I mean, I think I have like 31 trolls.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Troll.
like I might barely have more than like Perry, who I like. Perry and I would joking back and forth, and he has a bunch of them too, but I think I might have more than him. I might have like 31, and I think I have another 8 or 9 in the garage. I think like, so about 40 to 41 trolls in total, but most of them are in the house, and they're, displayed in the house in random places and sitting behind me in my sofa, and then displayed. But so all that said, Jasper turned into that because I would go to ZoloCon and I need to buy something. And my favorite thing is like, I had $100 in my pocket, and I'm like, I can buy a couple of figures, but I already have a bunch of those. But I'm like, I need another troll. And it was like the easiest way to buy a troll and be at ZoloCon and be at another show, hang out with friends, buy one, unwrap it, play with it there, talk to everybody, and people would come up and pick up the troll and be like, oh man, that's so cool. And then they would buy it. And then I would be able to take them home because I didn't have to ship it. So it turned into one of those things, like every time I would go to a show, I would go to a show and buy a troll and then fly home with it and have them with me. And then that turned into one of those crazy scenarios where, I had them with me, and I have a bunch of stone trolls, but I would buy it, and then I'd have them with me and I'd play with them. And you're sitting at the bar at the airport, and people would walk by and take pictures and ask what it is. And I'd have the flyer, and I'd be like, hey, here's, Four Horsemen Studios. This is the stuff that we do. And I'd give them the whole spiel. And Jasper turned into that. He was my like gateway plastic crack dealer, where it gave me the chance to like talk to anybody, and little kids, old retirees, army men, TSA agents, that it gave me the opportunity to like talk to anybody under the sun. I would give out like stacks of flyers, and it was just one of those things that Jasper turned into like my talking piece of like traveling around and having that and all that kind of stuff. And then when I would fly somewhere, I just start bringing them with me. So when I would leave, I'd have them with me, and then I'd go and buy another one and carry around 2, you know what I mean? So it just started getting ridiculous. And then I eventually had them all, and I had all my customs, and then Jasper just became part of me and coming with me, and I'd have him like his own adventures, and I'd take silly photos with him. And he really started kind of like steamrolling into his own like personality, and people. I would go to shows and people would ask like, "Oh man, you're so glad you're here. Where's Jasper?" And I'm like, I left them in the room. They're like, "Oh man," and like people were like genuinely. And it's not just like 1 or 2 people, but I'd have like dozens of people be like, "Oh man, I wanted to take pictures of Jasper and this and that," and like I wanted to. And then, Jasper had his own following, and people would ask about him when I'd go to shows. I would go to like. It started, and then I started going to like Toylanta, and other guys would have their, trolls with them that they would have in like kid holders and backpacks and little trolleys, and they'd have flags with them. And, so then it turned into one of those things like Jasper had like troll followers and his own troll, fan club. And it just turned into one of those silly things where it's just like, okay, like here I'm this grown ass man walking around with this big action figure that I just get to talk to everybody about. And then it turned into like he's got a following and a fan group, and he's his own persona, and people want to meet Jasper and see him and take photos with him. And he got kidnapped by the Purple Gang in North Carolina, and he was missing for a day, and he was held hostage by somebody. And then luckily we paid the ransom, and he made it back to the booth okay. And he was dehydrated, but he was okay. So
Nate
asked, how did Jasper get his name?
So Jasper got his name because it's a color of a stone. If you look up like colors of stone and what I do landscaping, gardening, and stuff like that. Jasper was like a color of a stone that you use in landscaping, and it's like a certain type of granite color. And so all my trolls, believe it or not, like all 31 of them have names.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, there's a level of ridiculous, and then there's like I'm like way up above that,
So that was another one of my questions. Is Jasper like? Is there just one Jasper, or did you have multiples? So that if one got messed up, you would just trade it out for another Jasper.
So Jasper is a 1.0, and he is technically retired. There is a 2.0 version of Jasper because, like, again, I had to get more of them,
Right.
because they came out with the 2.0 and they had a different heads.
Right.
So he's actually a 2.0, but he's not my only 2.0. And the original Jasper is in my display case. He's still in his suit and tie outfit. And he's that Sean Strupp and his wife gave me and dressed him in his suit and tie, the original suit and tie. And his last appearance anywhere was Legion's Con from 2 years ago. So technically, it's not the same Jasper, but it's still Jasper as a stone troll, and that's only because like he's my only original left as original stone troll, and I have a 1.0, but they're customized. So it's kind of one of those like I don't want to wear him out, I don't want to ruin him, and
Right.
I can easily get like 2.0 stone trolls, and if I have issues or problems, I can fix them type of thing. Whereas in that one, I'm like, that's like the first generation of stone trolls, and it's harder to get those now. And
Right.
and he's got that version of him. He's been across the country like more times and more shows than most people have even gone to the grocery store.
Oh, I'm sure.
He was for years just. He was with me. He'd go somewhere, and I didn't wear him out, but he was just one of those like, man, I'm gonna wear him out if I keep bringing him with me. So he got retired almost 2 years ago now.
So at least I did get to meet the original Jasper,
Yeah.
because that was my first Legions Con 2 years ago. So.
Yeah. I could only imagine, and I've been tagged in a lot of those photos, but I can only imagine how many like thousands of photos are out there with this somebody holding this troll and me going like that.
So
I was
fascinated though. Weirdest reaction that you have got, like out of the reactions that you get carrying around Jasper, what is the absolute weirdest one that you can remember?
I got a couple. I've had people scream. I've had people legitimately scream, drop their stuff, and like do the like, oh my God, and drop and kind of like jump back. I've had people tell me that's the ugliest baby I've ever seen. I've had all the every joke you could think of where it's just like, oh man, your kid's got a great smile, and I've had the pilots from planes like leave a cockpit to come out and see it.
Oh,
that was awkward. So
who's flying the plane?
Yeah, it's like the airline stewardesses were just, you won't believe what this guy's sitting with. And I've lucked out a few times where I have the seat next to me empty, so I just put Jasper next to me, and he just sits there like this, and he kind of like, he looks like and he's got his feet kicked out, and he's just like this or whatever, and I'm just like, there he is, and so I've had all kinds of those interactions, and I've had people from all over the country like play with Jasper on a plane and look at him, and little kids. My favorite story I think to tell though is the time I held up the TSA line in Sacramento for 20 minutes, and yeah, they went through the X-ray because he's a carry-on basically, and he's in his own tray. So you can imagine, like, here's my crap and my, my shoes and my wallet, and my stuff, and then there's Jasper in a tray, and he's going through the X-ray, and you can see people like the TSA agent, and he's just. And he's like looking in, like, the hell is this thing? So it goes through, and I'm just standing there like a dummy, and sure enough, he comes through, and there it goes, and he's like, "Whose is this?" And I'm like, "Dude, no, really?" And they pick up the tray and all my stuff, and okay, and most of the times I've got like enough clothes for like 2 days of clothes. It's not like I have a big suitcase. So sure enough, they bring my stuff off to the side. And they're like, "What is this?" And and I'm like, "I work for a toy company, and I do this, and I'm social media, blah blah blah." And I going through my whole spiel, and I pull out my flyer and hand it to the guy, and the guy's waving people over from the TSA lines. "Hey, like, you got to see this," or "Hey, Dave, come here and look at this," and come. And I swear to God, for 20 minutes, and then people, I'm like looking at there, and my flight leaves in like 45 minutes, and I'm like, if you guys are like, and they're now taking selfies with the troll. I mean, it was one of those like, I've always wondered what happens, why the line takes so long. I was the reason, like, the Sacramento airport at one point was like, this was a couple years ago, mind you, but it was like, and people are trying to go like, "Where's this from? And is this from like Lord of the Rings?" And I'm like, "No, I work for a toy company." And sure enough, 20 minutes goes by, and people are like coming over. The other TSA agents are leaving their aisle to come over to see this thing, and they're picking it up. And they're like, "Wow, this is so cool!" And they're like taking selfies with it. And I'm like, "Can I get a picture of all you guys like holding Jasper, so like I can go to the studio and show like Jim and Eric. I'm like, look, like, check this out, So
All of TSA is in this picture.
I know I'd have to really go back through my phone and look for that. But that was one of my like one of my most ridiculous ones. Like the times that he like makes people stop and scream is always funny.
Yeah.
Because I'll put him out like in a walkway. So he's just kind of like standing like 6 feet away from me, and I'll be sitting in a chair, and he looks like a kid that got away. So I'll have his hands up like this, and he's just like running around, and you're just, and then I'll move him a little bit. Like, I'll get up when when people walk by in an airport, and I'll get up and I'll move him a little bit so it looks like he moved. And then there's other times I'll have him sitting there, and he looks all disappointed, like he's waiting for the plane. And those, I mean, I've got dozens of those stories. That's part of the reason why I bring him with me everywhere. Like, he's like Jasper. He's been to Hawaii and all over the country. He's awesome.
That's amazing. What a great thing. Wanted to jump ahead a little bit because you have one of them sitting right in front of you. Kind of take us through like your reaction when Jeremy told you that you were going to have not one tribute figure, but 2 tribute figures. I mean, what was like, how did that make you feel?
It was, I've told the story a few times. It was a genuine surprise. Like, I'd been hearing for years that they wanted to do that, and they would tell people like, we don't know what to do. The people would ask, like, probably the last 4 years, maybe 3 at like conservatively, but I would go to shows, and they would approach Eris right away. "Oh my God, you guys, you got to make a Walter figure. He does this and he does that. He's been the nicest guy. He's given me this." And, and it's like, it's embarrassing. and humbling, and just such a great thing to have people and friends and like brand new people come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, I'm on Facebook just for your group," and it was so like just so ridiculous at times and embarrassing. Like, like here they are like coming up and we're like just hanging out and selling figures or in the afternoons or sitting in dinner and watching Eric and Jeremy and CB and all these guys and be like, "Oh yeah, we love Walter," and I'm just like blushing and embarrassed, but they're just like, we want to do something. We genuinely like, and to see like Eric Treadaway say it too is like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Right. I want to make something for him, and I'm just like, there's times I'm like sitting next to him going like, "Oh my God, like that's so cool." And then fast forward and and to this last year's Legions Con and the reveal, it was like I had no idea and I didn't have any input in it, and it was just one of those things like they wanted to do it. They've been planning for it since the year before. The year before they're just like, we're doing this for Walter. We're excited, this and this, and so they started doing it, and they're just like, but we gotta like we gotta make a couple of them. Like, let's do like a 2-pack. So it turned into one of those like they wanted, and they knew it was like they can make the skeleton one, and that was like a no-brainer. But they also, because the new cosmic stuff was coming, and me doing the cosmic Cabal and pushing that and all kinds of stuff, they're like, well, what if we did like this crazy like orange this space guy and give them this and do that. So it kind of rolled into like, instead of doing one, let's do 2, and then turn it into a 2-pack, make it the Legions Con exclusive, and now it's going to be individually available. And it was just shock and awe, and I had no idea, and it was just a genuine reaction where I was like, it makes me almost want to cry thinking about it. And it was weird too, because like I was in a room like this during the chat, and in the screens, and we're talking in before and the screen keeps popping up and more guys start showing up, and I'm like, wow, this is like kind of like all the studios here, they're all starting to show up. There's like CV, and I'm like, oh, okay. There's Eric Treadaway and Jim. I'm like, oh shit, like what's going on, and then there's Joe Vitale, and I'm like Jesus, like this is going to be a good show. Like they're going to do something. And I kind of like, I'm like, no, this isn't, they're not going to, but it was more like the show was based around like the 5,000 followers on the Cabal. So it was meant to be like, congratulations, we're doing a 5,000 followers. And that's what it was really in the background screens that weren't on screen yet. And they were talking to me, and they're like, wow, this is so cool. This is amazing. And you have such a great page, and we love all the stuff you're doing. And I'm just like, man, thanks. This is great. And then all of a sudden, everything else started steamrolling, and they're like, hey, here's her figures. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, so it was a genuine, like, mind blowing. I wasn't ready for it. The first one I was ready for kind of, and I'm like, you can see me like, I'm like, oh dude, that's cool. The second one I had like no clue, and I was like trying not to like fall off camera and start crying like a 5-year-old. And I'm like waving my arms. I'm like, oh my God, get me off the screen. I'm like, you guys. So it was a genuine just excitement and grateful moment. Like, and then, having that and all the people that bought them and stood in line and hanging out and just all that fun stuff, and meeting new fans and older fans and people that I've known for years, and people that bought like cases of them. Yeah. People that came and left their house that day on Sunday just to come out, just to buy that figure and have me autograph it. That was crazy. It was like that once in a lifetime experience where like I had no idea, let alone I'd be standing there for 5.5 hours signing autographs and taking pictures with people.
Do you have any idea how many you signed?
I can say I know how many photos I have. I have over 300 photos with people. Goodness. Yeah. And then I want to say because I know how many figures were made, type of thing. But I could probably say like maybe a good third of them. I think I signed, and and there was oh my goodness, mine just blanked out. There was 173 cases and 12 per case, and if you do the math on that, I probably signed about a third of those. And I have photos. I have photos of over 300 people that I got to meet and sign, and there was plenty of people that bought extras, and
Right.
People that bought like 8 or 9 of them or a case of them. And like my friend Dennis Derby, he's just like, he bought a case and he's like, I love these. And he's like, I'm like, oh dude, these are awesome. He's like, I need you to sign every single one of them. I'm like, okay, so it was awesome. So it was just like, I'm a loss for words just even thinking about it right now.
Yeah, it was amazing. And 5.5 hours standing basically in one place and signing figures and taking pictures. I can't imagine.
It was crazy. Like I was, when I saw like the first hour or two, and I was saw somebody in line, I go, oh my God, give me like 10 minutes. I need to go use the restroom. Like I've like never done that before in my life. I was like but it was like somebody I knew, and there's a line behind those people, and
Right.
and they're like, it'd be like you, hey, oh my God, give me like 5 to 10 minutes. I've got to pee so bad. Like, and they're just like, well, go do it. Just be right back. I'm like, cool. And I had like a pocket full of like different pens and everything. And so I ran off to use the restroom, washed my hands, and came back. And I'm like, okay. And that was like the only like 10-minute break that I took that whole time. And it was just, that was like the funniest part.
It was
like,
just awesome.
I'm like, I gotta pee.
I would have had to do that a lot more than just one time. I think you did good.
Oh man. And as much as like hanging out all night at all those shows, because we were there since like Tuesday. I was there from Tuesday to Monday. And as much as like we drank beer every night, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't know how I only like
No, either.
I don't know how I made it that long without, falling over and, being, yellow eyes and
Oh, that's funny. So, one more question, and then we're going to do a giveaway. And then I think Amber and I have like a list of questions of just random things that we want to ask. So, this question is there a figure that Four Horsemen has not put out yet that you would like to see them do?
The dragon comes to mind, and I know hints of that. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's being made. I'm the full disclosure, like I don't know. The times I have talked to Eric Treadaway and like the hints that he's told me of what he's done and things like that have been cool. But like I said, I have no idea. I've never seen it.
So
I'd love to see like I'd love
do
to see
a dragon. How big do you want it to be?
So the funny thing is part of that story is talking to Eric Treadaway. There's two sides of it, and CB is like they want to make like they've all said they want to make the 3-foot dragon. It's going to be this. It's articulated. It's going to look crazy and have wings and blah blah blah. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
The best joke ever was being there, hanging out at the studio, and Eric and I talking, and he's just like, you know what, like, and he's kind of like one of those like serious comedians where he's that artistic guy that he's kind of humbling and serious about his art, but at the same time, he's talking and he's joking about it, and I'm like, what? What the hell did you just say? And so he's sitting there telling me this story, and he's like, I'm gonna make that dragon. And I'm like, hell freaking yeah. Like I'm like in his office, and he's just like, I'm gonna make that dragon. And he's very, got his beautiful beard, and he's just sitting there, and he's just kind of like staring off in like Obi-Wan Kenobi type of thing. And he's just like, I'm gonna make that dragon. And I'm just like, hell freaking yeah, you gotta do this. I get to see the photos. Let's get your laptop out right now, you know. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna make it 3 feet. And I'm like, dude, that's gonna be freaking huge. And like dudes will be able to like ride on it. And then like you can use the claws and he's gonna be like biting heads off of bad guys. And he goes, no, I'm gonna make it like this big. He's like, I'm gonna make it like this big, and it's gonna have 3 feet. And it's gonna be like posed up like this cute little, and he's gonna like those weird things that you see at like the gift stores where it's like this big. He goes, I'm gonna make it 2 inches. I'm gonna make it like 2 inches to where it's like an accessory to a guy. And I'm gonna make it with 3 feet, and he's standing on 3 feet with a tail wrapped around it, and be like, you know,
What?
like, and I sat there and I was just like, oh my God. And I'm like, and he's telling me this, and he's like I said, he's just serious. And I'm like, that's not what we've been promised for like the last 5 years. And he's like,
That's 5 years.
You know what I mean? He's just like, yeah, but you know how good that would be? How just to mess with people. And then
That
I'm
would
gonna
be awesome.
and then he's like, I'm gonna do it. And this was at like an intern. He's like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna show it to everybody and say this is what's coming, and not show it to scale. So I'm gonna have a picture of it, and it's gonna be kind of standing there. And this is the first, you know, rendition of it, if you will. And I'm like, oh my God, that would be like, I'm like, oh, I couldn't even talk. And then I'm like, you realize how much like text messages and craziness and I'm gonna get on the Cabal and everything else. And these, is this real? Oh my God, this is it. And it's gonna be like end of days, and Facebook is gonna blow up. And I was like, if you do that, I'm turning it off, and I don't want to deal with. I'm like turning off my phone. Like I'm like, you got to at least give me like a heads up if you do this. And I'm like, because I need to, like, I'll quit for like a week and I'll come back like a week later. And he started laughing at that idea of how like because he was messing with me the whole time, going like, I know that you're gonna get all this flack for it because everybody wants this dragon and it's going to be this big and this and that. And then everyone's going to come to you, Walt, and be like, what the hell, you know? So
That would be perfect. I think I saw, Andy and Cloud both said that they would buy that one.
oh yeah. And you know what? It'd be like, I think back in the day, they did like a Gothtropolis exclusive, like pre-order thing, or, you know, if you were the first to order, you get like this little owl figurine, and it's like super crazy hard to get. And he said he wanted to do something like that, to where I would buy one in a second and want every version of it, paint one blue, and you know. But he said it would be like this big, and like it would be standing on 3 feet, and not show it next to anything else, and just mess with it. I just thought that was like you know, here's this super creative, nice, just humble, wonderful human artist being, and he's just freaking with me, you know, the whole time. And I'm just like, damn it, Eric, like I thought you were serious for a second. Like I'm like,
oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, that would be, I think if anything, that would be my first want, is just like, like I said, I love the giant figures and everything else, but dude, like I need me a dragon. Like I'm happy with everything else. Just we don't have a dragon yet, and I hope, I can only hope, you know.
I do too. I told my husband I don't care what I have to do. If I have to hang it from the ceiling, I was going to get one.
Yeah.
I would definitely hang it from the ceiling.
I want one, even if I have to hang it from the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Would you say, Amber? I couldn't hear you there.
Oh, I said I would hang it from the ceiling too.
Oh yeah. It'd be
Just
like get a couple of them. I'll be each side of the doorway when you come up to my house, and put one on the top of my truck while I'm driving around town, and all that stuff.
All right. We are going to do a giveaway real quick. We are going to give away one of the pictures that Kevin Boots did.
Nice.
Isn't this wonderful? That cape, everything, just a really, really great picture.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like it.
I am going to share my screen. And if you guys let's do hashtag Kevin Boots. Hashtag Kevin Boots. And let's see if we can give away one of these photos from Kevin that we really appreciate him
Absolutely.
allowing us to give away. Super excited with these. I've got 2 of these that we're going to give away. This will be the first one.
Nice.
Hashtag Kevin Boots.
Darina is S tier.
What was it?
So on Legion's cast earlier today, 5 o'clock ish, you had some of the guys get together and they ranked all of the female characters.
Oh yeah.
From Mythic and Cosmic Legions, and I think they ended up putting Darina in like the very bottom.
Oh.
The very bottom or the next to the left bottom, but they couldn't have but I think it was 8 or 9 in each category, and they did a really good job, but there were a couple that I would have had a little higher than they did, but they worked hard on that, and they took suggestions from all of the ladies, and so it was really fun. They did a really good had a good time
C
doing
tier.
that one.
She got it to C tier.
Oh, she got in the C tier, so she wasn't at the bottom. She made it.
She's
to the
like in the middle bottom.
Okay, so she was close to the bottom.
Yeah.
But so S is like you gotta have it, and then it's A through D for the rest of the rankings. But it was a good show. I enjoyed it. The guys did good.
That's funny.
Definitely entertaining.
All right, guys, we are going to give you about another 60 seconds, and then we'll roll for the first one, and then we'll do the second one. And then don't forget, we are giving away a Malleus. And if you've already got one, Walter said he wants to trade you for this one.
Yeah. I got tons of stuff.
Yes. He needs another one. He doesn't have enough Malleus's.
I don't need another one, but I will definitely take another one.
I got you. Oh, that's funny.
I will not turn one away.
All right. Come on, guys. Let's hashtag Kevin Boots. Hashtag Kevin Boots. Let's see. For the giveaway.
Rob Zamora says, Walter, I have Malleus, trade me.
Heck yeah.
Hashtag Kevin Boots for the giveaway. All right.
I always love when I have a couple of custom Malleus that fans have made for me and sent me and stuff like that as gifts. I've had random ones. Guys, like Milo from Empire Toys, he'll be like, hey man, I got some extra Malleus. I'm just going to mail it to you. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I know you like these. And next thing you know, I get like 3 of them in the mail. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, okay. And then, I'll get ones that people have like, they've made like a Walter version and like a fleshed out Malleus. And I have all those. They're so cool.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Let's go back to the giveaway tool. We've got 16 entries. Is that everybody?
We have 44.
We have 44 people in and only 16 entries. Come on.
That's
Anybody
that's
else?
pretty cool.
for the hashtag Kevin Boots.
I get excited when 5 or 2 people watch me talk on these things. Oh my god! I'm just always rambling, just telling goofy stories of adventures, and I'm always fascinated that anybody's going to listen in on me anyways. And for
And
God's sakes,
we are loving every single one. Okay, 17 entries we are going to draw for the first picture. And the winner is...
Ooh. Who is it? Who's it gonna be?
David Hunter.
Good job,
Nice.
good job. David, if you will message Lauren, she has that and she is going to get that out to you. If you will message Lauren, she is going to get that out to you. Congratulations, David.
David Hunter for the win.
All right. Yay. Now let's go ahead and put the second one up here. This is the second picture. And oh my gosh, it is just great
That's
picture.
Cool.
Yeah, I just think it looks really good there with that white snow. I don't know, it just really sets off that figure.
Yeah. It's a good contrast of like that just blue face and everything. Kevin does awesome stuff. I have a couple of it. I think I have several of his photos, I'm pretty sure.
So we're going to go ahead, and if anybody is going to join, gonna do the second one. Or
you can just do it now.
I can do it now.
Yep.
There it is. And Mark
R.
Yay! Mark R. All right, Mark.
Congratulations, Mark.
Congratulations.
You are the winner.
You are the winner. If you will again get with Lauren, she is going to send that out to you. We're super excited that Kevin allowed us to give those away on our show tonight. What a great joy that was. All right, we're going to start with some questions, and then in about 15 minutes, we'll do the giveaway for the Malleus. Question number 1. Walter, where did you grow up?
I am originally from San Jose, California, not too far from here, just outside, just out in the Bay Area, below San Francisco. Born and raised. I lived there for 20 years before we moved out to the Valley. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I have a half older sister, my half sister, Trina, that she lives up in Idaho. My brother is 4.5 years younger than me, and he came out to his first con anything ever with me in North Carolina when Ish and all the guys out there did that show. He came out. He lives in South Carolina now. My brother John, and it was cool having him out because my mom came out and my sister-in-law came out with them and all that kind of stuff. All the kids, I paid for them all to come in, and they were. And my brother's a car guy. Like action figures are like, I mean, they're about as far from anything that he's ever seen. But he came in there and he's just like, dude, this is weird. And I'm like, just looking at it as like teeny tiny little cool like cars that everybody wants, and but he had a good time, and they had a good time meeting everybody in the Horsemen and that kind of stuff. So
do you live close to your parents now?
My dad passed away a few years ago. My mom's still alive. She currently still lives in Discovery Bay, California, not too far from here, about 45 minutes southwest, which is also, it's about 75 miles west. Excuse me, east and into the valley, right below Stockton. And she is going to move, and she owns a house now and is going to move to South Carolina. I think full time, and bought a house next door to my brother in South Carolina in York. She's just like finally retiring and bought a house next door and plans on moving out there and all that cool stuff. And I'm just like, cool, whatever, have fun, do whatever you want.
That's
So
Love that.
yeah, she's excited. And then, it'll be cool because she'll be like on the other side of the country and I don't have to deal with her. No.
You'll get to go visit all the time.
Oh, I swear I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
What was your first pet?
I've always had and still do. First pet was a wiener dog, so I still got wiener dogs. I have them. I love them. They're ridiculous. My first wiener dog was the female was Pumpkin, and the other one was Blackie, and it was like, God, I was probably 4 or 5 years old, type of thing, and he was like a black and tan dog, and then Pumpkin was um, a tan, just all one color. And she was just a big old girl. She was cute. She's probably like 20 pounds of fury. And then Blackie was this skinny little black and tan wiener dog that just was goofy and all that stuff. But yeah, that was my first wiener dog. And then I've had a few others. And now I have Ginger and Rusty. I got chocolate wiener dogs now. So
Oh, how sweet.
yeah.
Bill said, I have a wiener dog.
I know. I was super happy to find out when people have wiener dogs, and of all people, Trevor Williams had wiener dogs too. And I think unfortunately his just passed away this last year. But it was like he told me his dog was like 19 years old or something crazy. I was like, I'm like, holy crap, dude! I'm like, that's got to be like a world record or something. Like, but yeah.
Yeah,
Stacey Lynn also
Stacey
has
Lynn. Yeah, Brian and Stacey Lynn have one.
Oh,
And
that's
Kevin
cool.
Boots has one.
Yeah, I think Kevin was telling me that just the other day on the show because I was asking him all kinds of dumb questions.
All right. So, what was your favorite vacation as a kid? Where did you love going as a kid?
We were always lucky enough. My dad was fairly well-to-do businessman, self-employed. We used to travel for his work, and we'd go to places like Boston to meet up at, for businesses that were trying to hire him and things like that. So we'd go to different parts of the country. But we were always fortunate enough. And I think my dad got to a certain age, and we started going to Hawaii, and he got a timeshare condo out there, and we had gone when I may have been like 11 or 12, but that was like the first time we had gone. This was like 30 years ago. But it was like about 11 or 12, we went to Hawaii for the first time. And then every year at the same time during Christmas, we would go to Hawaii for nearly 20 years. And so I've been to Hawaii like 25 times. And we would go for anywhere from like a week to 3 weeks at a time. And it was just, we'd go to the same place or, travel around the island, do things and just kind of do the same old thing. And from 11, 12 years old to, I think I was like even in like 23, 24, something like that was like the last time I went with my folks before like my brother got married in Hawaii, and then I went to Hawaii on my own. But yeah, I've been to Hawaii at least a year's worth or plus of my lifetime.
Wow.
Because if I've gone for 1 to 3 weeks at a time, but when you add it all up in time, I've spent like a little more than a year of my life on the beach in Hawaii.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so very, very blessed, and I love it. Like,
What is your absolute best memory as a kid?
um, man, just, being able to hang out with different family members at different occasions. And I don't think one thing over another, but, certain people and certain things. I have a really good photographic memory, to where you see that grandparent, you see that uncle, and you remember things, that kind of thing. So just hanging out with family and seeing them at different times of my life growing up, and even to this day. So it was like, as a kid, I can remember going to visit grandparents and aunts and uncles, and all that kind of stuff, and I loved all that stuff. It was cool. I don't say, like, I think one particular thing stood out over another. So
That's fantastic.
yeah.
So, tacos. How
Hell
did
yeah.
that become a thing?
Tacos are awesome. It's the perfect food. I mean, you could gorge yourself. You could make them super fancy, or you can make them Taco Bell nasty. It's just, I don't know. There's just something great about, like, a taco, like, and I'm lucky enough to where, like, being on the road and being self-employed, like, I can go to different places, and I just love that street food type of mentality where, like, you're driving along and you're just like, dude, like, I don't want to go to freaking Applebee's or anything. But if there's some guy on a street corner in front of, like, a hotel that's, like, got, like, a barbecue with, like, raw meat, and he's burning it, and he's got tortillas with it, I'm like, dude, what you making? Like, that's, how do I get like 6 of those things? And in, like, either, like, broken English, or or perfect English, or whatever, like, they're just like, and yeah, give me $10. And it's like, to me, it's just, there's just so much fun to eating a taco. You could just pick it up and make a mess, and you can have them, like I said, super fancy, and chicken and shrimp and this and that, and all of it. I love it's, and to me, like, it's, nobody makes them the same, and how you make them is different than how you make them and how I make them and somebody else, or even at Taco Bell, but
Yeah.
it's just, it's just a fun food, like, and I can make a big ass mess out of eating them, and I could just be like, well, just look at these things, they're messy, and then you're, like, scraping them up on that, and
That's,
and you're scraping them off the floor and the
that's my
tray,
favorite
and
part.
yeah.
So, Amber, I'm going to do the next one too, because I want to say, what is your favorite taco place?
um I live not too far right now from a place in town that it's like, it's like going out type of thing for us. And they make a pretty good, like, basic street taco. And any place I ever go to eat, and anywhere in the country, I try to order, like, the simplest, basic, dumbest thing on the menu. And if it's Mexican food, to me, like, if you mess up a taco, like, like, I will never come back. If you know what I mean? Like, you should not be allowed to cook ever again if you mess up, burnt meat and a grilled tortilla with some cheese or onions on it. And it's the same thing if you go to, like, a hamburger place. If the hamburger place doesn't make it to how you order it, and you're paying $20 for a hamburger, and they got plastic cheese on it, and the lettuce is wilted, and, like, I will never come back to, but the the taco place that we go to in town, it's just downtown from us. It's super cool. But, like, honestly, like, the one I go to every single but like every single day almost is this taco truck. And they've won, like, the valley and the local county taco competitions, these street taco vending competitions. They've won it for like 10 years straight. They like, any type of concept of having fast food off a taco truck made for you, just throw that in the garbage, and this is 100 times better. And I post pictures and send it to my friends online and everybody all the time. And and I can get for like $10, I can get enough food that would feed like 4 people. So
Wow.
yeah, but I ended up eating it all.
What is your favorite taco place in New Jersey when you go to Legion's Con?
I don't think I ever went to one.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, like there was like if I went to one, like I think we went to like one Mexican restaurant for like Jeremy's birthday one time because it was like the only place open, and the other place that we originally were going to wouldn't take the amount of people that were coming. There was like 20 of us, and so I mean, it wasn't that memorable, but you know, it was good enough. I ate it. I enjoyed it. We sang happy birthday,
And
and
that's all that really matters.
that I got photos. I was there, you know. But there is yet to be like a place and I know like 100 people in the comments and friends that they'll be like, oh bro, we went to this one place. I'll be like, dude, I do not remember. You know, it was. I may remember we were there, but I don't remember eating it. So.
Oh, I love because everybody over in the comments is, um, I'm having tacos right now. Had tacos for lunch. Made potato tacos last night.
Oh yeah.
Dorklayer said that he has a baseline burger
Mm-hmm.
always when he orders at a new restaurant, just cheese and pickles, so that he knows if it's a good restaurant or not.
I'm telling you, Bill, it's that if you like if you go to McDonald's, you get the same thing all the time. If you go out here, it's like In-N-Out Burger. You expect In-N-Out Burger to be In-N-Out Burger.
Right.
It's that way. If you go to like a local place and like I said, you've never been there, you've never done anything, and it's some homemade regular back bar place where if they can't make the simplest thing on the menu, French fries and a hamburger, and that's what's on their menu, and if it comes out and it's burnt or wilted lettuce or rotten tomatoes, like, dude, I will never come back to your establishment again.
Right.
I won't give you, I won't tip you. I'm that guy. I'll call you out and be like, dude, I'm sorry. This is awful. And, and I'll let them know, if the guy goes, well, you're a jerk. And I'll be like, well, I am, but I'm not going to eat your, hamburger ever again. So you gotta, eating out to me was always, my grandmother and family, it's a privilege for
Right.
somebody, in my opinion, for somebody to cook for you is just to be grateful. But if they can't cook it correctly, oh my God, you got to let them know. You just got to be honest with them and don't be, hey, oh, yeah, how was it? Oh, it was great. And then you're just like, oh my God, I'm going to crap my pants later,
Yeah.
All right, let's take a little break. Let's do the giveaway again. I'm going
Yep.
to share again. There we go. So, giving away Malleus.
Yeah.
And the hashtag is Walter the Mad. So, if you guys want to get a Malleus, and if you already have one, trade it with Walter because he really wants this one. All right. So we are going to remove that one right now. Look at it. He really wants this one. You guys have got to, if you got one, you got to trade it with him. Oh, that's funny.
I love all that. I forget in our Legions chats with Colin and everybody on Friday nights in the Cabal, they were telling us like the latest updates on your phone. You can do these things and they'll do things in the back. I was like, oh my God. Like, then I started doing it and I would just one after another while I'm talking. And they're like, okay, Walter, like it's now become annoying. Could you we can't talk to you. And it's constantly, I'm like, oh my God.
I wonder if it would do it on my computer.
It does.
Yep. See, you're easily entertained too. It's all this cool. They have the other ones like if you go like this, you get the thunder and lightning.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, if you do the single one, you're just like thumbs up. And you do double.
Cool. Oh.
See, there's a couple other ones too. I forget all of them, but yep, those are the best. Yeah. And this is why, like I said, this is why I have no idea where people watch these videos and let alone watch my ridiculous silliness. Like I'm just constantly, I'm like, yeah, and this and this and this, and then I'm like, and all of a sudden there's lasers and.
That's funny. So I had no idea that it would do it on my computer. I knew that it did it on the phone, but I didn't realize it would do it on my computer. So that's funny.
Yeah.
All right. A few more questions while we let Walter the Mad enter the giveaway. We're giving away a Malleus that Walter really wants you to trade with him. So if you get it.
Yeah, and I got 6 cases of cool stuff in my garage of Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions and stuff like that. I got no problems. Like if somebody doesn't have Malleus, by all means, he's the best skeleton ever. He's like the second best. I mean, come on now.
I know. So, now he's the second best.
No, he's still my favorite. I only have like one Walter Malleus tribute type character. Like I've told myself like I'm not gonna have, a lot. But that Malleus is just so cool.
It is. Okay. Yes, Walter the Man, get it in, and then trade Walter for it because he really wants it.
That's right.
All right. Do you want to start questions again real quick? We'll give it about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll drop it.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Favorite holiday. Is that where we were?
Yeah. That's good.
Favorite holiday. I do enjoy Christmas a lot. I think I love just decorating and trying to make my house look like the Griswold house.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say Christmas just because it's like something fun to look forward to at the end of the year and buy tons of stuff and I had 6,500 lights up on my house this year. So yeah. I'm trying for 10. I'm trying to go for 10,000 lights next year. So.
Well, we've got to see pictures of this in the Cabal now. Now that we know, you're going to have to show us a picture when you get 10,000 lights up there.
Oh, I know.
All right. What is your favorite pizza topping?
If anything, I'm like a classic. I like to just pepperoni and cheese. If I go to my favorite pizzeria in the Bay Area, they have a killer like barbecue chicken one, and it's just mozzarella, barbecue chicken, and sauce, and a little bit of red onions, and it's like eating your favorite chicken sandwich, and it's ridiculous. Like I've driven 90 miles to go get one, and then turned around and got back. So
love that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie?
Oh God, I don't know. A lot of the movies like Conan, like if it's on TV, I'll sit and watch it. But I don't I have a really good photographic memory. So like when I see a movie once or even twice, I can't watch it again because I'll just know how it goes. I think Army of Darkness or Evil Dead, like the original ones with Bruce Campbell, like I've watched those any time of the day, and I've probably seen those, 50, 60 times. But yeah, no super, I got to watch it, favorite or stuff that I have like merchandise from. So.
What was your favorite TV show as a kid?
TV show, I'd watch just about anything. Cartoon wise TV show like was either He-Man or G.I. Joe, because I was like that era growing up where you'd look forward to like Saturday morning cartoons or Friday, or going like right before school, like Thundercats would come on, so He-Man He-Man right away. G.I. Joe would probably be next, and then all the other ones.
Let's see. What was
Did
your
he go away?
favorite kiss?
Hang on, is
What?
he there?
I'm here.
Yeah, he's
Okay, go ahead.
there. What was your favorite Christmas gift this year?
Um, I got like a. So I just restored like my. I'm sure you guys saw the photos. If you haven't, I'm just surprised you haven't. But I have my crazy like new tricycle,
Oh yeah.
my Schwinn tricycle. So yeah,
Yeah.
I just finished restoring that, and I was able to get like the inner tubes and the bits and pieces and like new hand grips for it, so I could like complete it. And then got a new basket for it, so I can put my wiener dogs in there. And then I have like my little wireless boombox to put on the front. So now that my bicycle's like restored and I can ride it up and down the street like a crazy person, and that was like my favorite thing this year was just getting the inner tubes and the pieces that I needed to like complete my bicycle. So
That's
super
awesome.
cool.
yeah.
Do you remember what your favorite Christmas gift as a kid was?
One that comes to mind was like when I was real little, like I said, growing up, I was a He-Man kid, and I got Castle Grayskull and some of the other accessories, the plane, I think it was called like the Wind Walker or something like that. I can't remember all the names, but I got like just a ton of He-Man stuff. I got Castle Grayskull, He-Man, like Battle Cat He-Man stuff, like all at once at my grandparents' house up in Placerville, and like I just had it all set up all over the house and made the biggest mess ever. You know, my grandparents were super cool about it, but yeah, that was probably the most fun. And then I got like at the same time I got like a remote control like tank that
That's
He-Man
awesome.
yeah, it was like this tank about yay big that was like He-Man had to like battle it, and he would pick it up and throw it at people. And so it was crazy.
That's awesome. All right, let's do the giveaway real quick. Let's see what we've got in there. Let's add that to the stage. I have 37 entries. We have what, 54 people in here?
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay. Give it just another 60 seconds. Walter the Mad to get a Malleus that Walter wants you to trade him for.
That's right.
Any other entries?
No, there's no
For
pressure.
Malleus.
But if you're gonna happen to do that,
All right.
I might have something cool.
He might have something cool. Getting a couple more entries here. Let's give it just another 30 seconds. Come on, Walter the Mad, for a Malleus. Walter's favorite Mythic Legion character.
It is.
All right. All right, we got 39 and we are going to draw. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Who's gonna be the winner?
Keithlin! Yay! Congratulations,
Who's that?
Keithlin.
Oh, right on.
That is C. Jessam.
Yeah, it just registered. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, Keithlin, if
Like,
you will send me an address, we will talk about getting it sent to you. All right?
heck yeah.
All right. Good job. Okay.
Yay.
That's an awesome person.
Yay. Yes, I'm so excited for her.
I happen to have stuff made by her.
Yes.
Yes.
Her hat has kept me warm all winter long.
I think I missed out on like I was gonna get like one of their beanie type things. I missed out on those.
Yeah,
I don't remember if she sold out, but she had some there, and I was like walking around, and then I just couldn't get back by there because it was busy.
So, Super excited. Okay, more questions. A few more questions.
Yes.
So you told us what your favorite vacation as a kid was, going to Hawaii. What is your favorite vacation since you've been married?
We go on a couple vacations at least once or twice a year. The fun ones are when we're able to go just to random places that are just kind of super low key, just walk along the beach. Like I tell my wife all the time, I'm like just let's go somewhere that we don't have to do nothing and just so like there's times we go down see our in-laws in San Diego and in Carlsbad area, which is down by the beach itself, and it's to me that's like the California Hawaii where you can go there. There's like cool shopping. We have like the walk along the beach areas. It's a beautiful area, safe neighborhoods, very kind of uppity type of feel, and it's just nice to just like walk one way down the beach line and walkways and turn around and walk back, and it takes like an hour or two in each direction, and and there's nothing like particular about it other than just that's the ocean. Here's the Coast Highway. It's like the famous Highway 1, the Coast Highway. Like you'll see like motorcycles ride by and exotic cars and people in vans and the little Priuses, and it's just a beautiful drive and a beautiful walk, and we go every couple months, and it just that's my Hawaii in California. Like I could drive there right now and I'd be happy. Awesome. And it's beautiful.
Let's see. So what was your first car?
I had a 1948 F100 with a flathead V8 in it, and it was sky blue, and I didn't know how to drive it to save my life. But it was cool. That was like my first one, and ironically, I barely drove it because I just had gotten it as like my dad and I type of project, and I drove it a few times, and my dad was like teaching me how to drive because it was a stick. It was hanging on the side of it, and like launched him off the side of it because it was like hanging on the floorboards, and like he went flying off one time, and I kept driving down the street, and I had that thing for a couple of years, never really drove it, and then I traded it for my actual first car that I drove all the time. Was my it was brand new at the time. It was my 1994 Dodge. What do you call it? Dodge 1500, and it was black. I had it. It was like lowered. I traded it, the 48, to a guy, and he had a brand new Dodge, and I'm like, that's cool. And it was the first year, like in '94, they changed the body style from like the Dodge pickups. Instead of being real square looking, they were more rounded.
Yeah.
And it was the first year they did that, and it was lowered. It looked like mean as hell, and I had cool suspension on it and had exhaust, and I ended up putting like 1,000-watt stereo in it, and pissing everybody off and driving around listening to like heavy metal. But that was my official first vehicle, and I had that vehicle, and I drove that thing for almost 20 years, and I had 460,000 miles on that vehicle before I finally had to get rid of it. So
wow.
I was like, I think I was like 32 when I finally sold that vehicle. It was ridiculous.
The next question was, what was your favorite? I'm assuming that was your favorite as well, your favorite car.
My favorite car was a combination of that one, and then I had for about a year, I wish I never sold it, but I had a 1970 convertible Cadillac DeVille that was black and lowered, and it was like I would drive that around, and like just it was like 30 feet long. Like the hood was like 7-8 feet long. The trunk, it would six people in it. I would drive it around during the summer for about a year, and with the top down, and it was cool. It had a big old 500 block engine in it, and it was literally that type of car where You could step on the gas as hard as you want. It would roar to life, go 2 miles an hour, and the gas gauge would go. And at the time, that was like the first time years ago when I had that thing. I only had it for about a year or so. I wish I never got rid of it, but that was like the first time the gas got up to like $5 a gallon.
Oh,
And it
wow.
was like in California. And it was like, I had this stupid vehicle that was literally a gas hog. And then I had my Harley, and then I had my truck. And I was like, I'm paying thousands of dollars a month for like gas and driving around. I'm like, I need to get rid of something. So that was the one I got rid of. And I regret it ever since. And I would buy it in a second, you know.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. What was your high school mascot?
It was an eagle. It was in Oak Grove High School, and it was called Oak Grove Eagles. It was like our colors were blue and gold, and I did not give a flying flip about anything related to that. But I do know what it was.
So, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Right-handed.
Yeah.
Do you play video games?
I don't. I get like vertigo, motion sickness. Like it was weird. Like at a certain age, like I'd go to my buddies' houses for years, and like when a lot of like the first person shooter games started to appear, 20 years ago, like Doom, I couldn't watch. It would that motion where the camera's tracking, and same kind of thing. Like I have a hard time like riding in cars, and I can't be the passenger because I don't know where the vehicle's going. So I'm like looking, and we're driving this way, and same thing with video games. So the only video game that I do play are like puzzle games, and like I love Tetris, and like I'm like one of those like I'll play Tetris at any time whenever I can, and I like just crush that game. So
Love Tetris.
yeah, like most puzzle games, and I have to not have them on my phone all the time because I'll sit there and just I'll play puzzle games for hours.
So, Lauren said something about Pokemon. Do you play Pokemon?
I don't play it. My son and he's gotten into it a lot more recently, and he likes collecting it. The excitement of finding all the cards and catching them all. And this last year, he's gotten into it more. He's loves Legos, but he's kind of like moving towards like Pokemon because he loves seeing the videos and people collecting them. There's a lot of that on YouTube that we watch together, and so we don't play the Pokemon game because, first of all, the print on those cards are like, I don't know if you've ever seen a Pokemon card. Like they're like
a whole binder full.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I know you wear glasses, but I don't know how you read that because I got pretty good eyesight and I can barely read that print on those things. But at the same time, I love the art. I love the art of the Pokemon stuff, and then I just love kind of like how ridiculous like the colors are. So yeah, I love doing that stuff now. And then my son he's got like tons of it off to the side here where he's been tracing it and drawing them and coloring it for me, and then he knows like every character. It's like listening to me talk about like Mythic Legions, it's just like, hey, did you see this character? And he's just like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, he's like, here's a Chizard and a whatever. And I'm like, what's a Chizard? He's like, Daddy, it's not Chizard, it's a Charizard. And I'm like, it looks like a Chizard, So
yes, my son played that, and we actually went to tournament. Like, he loved the card games, and we actually went to tournaments. Nice. He played those. So yes, we had all the stuff.
That's so. See, I love when people do that. And they enjoy their hobby. They love the art of it. They love collecting it, and then they're playing stuff with it and the interaction. Like I know some people that's their only thing, and I'm like, dude, that's freaking sweet. Like, yeah, I can't play the games because like I said, I can't read it. I don't understand it. But I'll go to the cons that we go to, and I'll walk around. I'm like, whoa, what's that guy? And I'm like, who's that? I'm like, I need another Chizard, and so.
Oh, that's so sweet. All right.
Lauren also wanted us to ask about Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh is like Winnie the Pooh was like my son's first like real like love. And we took him to Disneyland when he was younger, and like he did not care about like anything else at Disneyland other than going to meet Winnie the Pooh and go on the Winnie the Pooh ride and all that kind of stuff. And then I bought like the biggest Winnie the Pooh thing that we still have to this day. And I got ears. You go to Disneyland or World, and you get the ears. I got the Winnie the Pooh ears and all that stuff. And it's just Winnie the Pooh was like I loved that my son, he had gotten at like 2 years old a stuffed Winnie the Pooh from a Disneyland place, and he walked around and carried Winnie the Pooh. We still have him. He's very well loved, but he's in the other room with our Winnie the Pooh shelf, and so it's one of those things like we love Winnie the Pooh because he was into that from day one when he was that was like his first love. And then every once in a while we come across like a Winnie the Pooh, and I'm like, dude, this is cool. And he's still being young at heart and 10 years old. Like I think I picked up like a Squishmallow Winnie the Pooh that's like this big, and a couple of like what's the other one? I use it as like a pillow every night. So I have like a Winnie the Pooh that's like sleeping, and it's my headrest. And he's like beat up and dirty, and I need to wash him. But I have like two of them. I have one that's like untouched and he's beautiful, and then I have the other one that's like, oh my god, is that like the dog's toy? And they're like, no. Like my dad sleeps with that every night, so it became that unwritten obsession. I found a couple pops here and there, and we have the Winnie the Pooh Lego set, and my wife is like let's just keep it to this little corner and let's not go crazy like certain collections we have, Walter.
That are all throughout the house.
Yeah, like we don't need like 30 Winnie the Pooh trolls, So, but I tell you what though, that like the Mythic Legions, the bear that came out and is being revealed, I plan to get a couple extras of those, and I'm gonna have somebody like Eric Miller or somebody paint it and make it look like freaking Winnie the Pooh, so I
think that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait for just to have like this big bear and put a shirt on him and have he's like walking around and he's Winnie the Pooh, and have him standing up and find a little jar of honey or something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Toilet paper, over or under?
I don't even know. I don't care.
There you go.
Like if that is one of like the concerns in life, I need that concern in life, because I'm too busy wiping my backside and blowing my nose, and I'm just happy it's there. Like I buy nice toilet paper. Hey, if you can afford like basic Kirkland one, hey, that's cool. But oh my god, I don't care. Like,
all right. Oh.
Do you call it pop or soda, and what is your favorite?
If you go to like around here, like the like I said, the taco trucks all the time, it's like ordering a Coke or a soda. We call it by like where I'm at, and it's like you call it by name. Like if you order a Coke, you order a Coke. You order a Dr. Pepper, you have Mr. Pibb. Give me a Sprite. Like that's what we say around here. Believe me, like I've been around the country, and like the first time I was in like Boston, and I was like, hey, I need a Coke, and the dude's just like, you want an 8-ball or you want this? And you know what I mean? It was just like, and I'm like, what? I'm like, no, dude, I want like a Coca-Cola. Is that? And he's like, oh, you mean? And I don't even know their accents, but he's just like, oh, you mean a pop? And I'm like, dude, I don't I don't know what the frick you call it. Give me a damn Coca-Cola. And same thing, like been to New Jersey and New York and hanging out, and or god damn, you go where my brother lives now in the South, and some of these just heavy Southern accents I can't even understand. And I'm like, dude, and here I am, California, this, and I'm just like, dude, I need a Coke, bro. I'm like, and they like, oh, you do no band-aids and I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, it's like, so, but we call it by name where I'm at. Like, it's pretty rare. You can tell when somebody's from, like, same thing when I go out there, but you can tell when somebody's from out of town. Give me a pop. I'm like, I'll pop you, bro. Like, I don't know what. I'm like reaching. I'm like, hang on a second. No.
So last question, and
Sure.
we're gonna try to end at 9:30. And if you aren't working or repping the Cabal and Four Horsemen and Legions, what is your favorite thing to do?
Good Lord. If I have absolutely nothing to do, and if I have absolutely nothing to do and it's okay, like I'll get on my Harley and just go scare women and children and break laws and terrorize the area, see if the highway patrol can catch me, make loud noises, and yeah, I'll just go for a ride. That's like, I think that's like, you know, that's what I think everybody needs in life, is just get on two wheels and go fast and scare yourself a little bit and have fun. Anything else, like usually just hanging out and seeing, what we need to do around the house, and what the wife and kid are wanting to do for the weekend. And I'm just like, all right, whatever, and it's just like, clean this and fix that and build that and do this, and okay. So I'm pretty easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Getting out on the open road, feel the wind, and relax.
Oh yeah.
I think that's awesome. I think that's a great
It's
getaway.
it's super fun, and we're lucky where we're at, where you can jump on two major highways and go up in any direction. And California, I've told people, like where I'm at in California, you could drive for 8 hours in one direction and you're still in California. You could drive for 8 to 10 hours in another direction, you're still in California. You could drive to the coasts and you can see the coasts, and if you want to drive to the snow-capped mountains, you can still be in California and see that. You can just drive anywhere and go do anything out here. It's super cool, and the roads are pretty good, and there's some scenic views. And like I said, one of my favorite times of the year is like right when it starts to get nice again, and we have surrounded by the orchards and almond orchards and walnut groves and cherry orchards, and yeah, there's nothing cooler than that, like cruising along and seeing all that. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds like it would be so relaxing and so wonderful.
Yeah, it is. It's super cool to be able to do that. And like I said, I'm very happy and fortunate to do that kind of stuff. So,
well, Walter, we want to thank you for coming on. We truly appreciate you.
Did you ever go see your specialist person about your
Yeah, we're just super excited to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Yeah, I love this kind of stuff. You guys have me back anytime or never again. I don't care.
We would be excited to have you back again. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's been super fun. I love this. I've told Lauren and you or all of you. I said I support this type of stuff. All the shows. I try to make sure everybody can watch these shows and be part of it and watch them, and just, I think this is great. I love this type of stuff.
Well, we are very blessed that you started the Cabal. we are very blessed that Lauren spoke to you and started Legions Ladies. And then we're very, very blessed to have this as kind of an opportunity to hang out with some other ladies and some great guys and people and just kind of learn about them. So,
Thank you. Yeah, it's been awesome helping and being supportive and, letting the studio know and they love you guys and all of it. And, it's just all around, it's fun. I enjoy all of this. I'll let you ladies know, as I haven't told anybody yet, but I'm helping you guys out pretty soon to where we're going to get a bunch of new shirts made for you guys and new logo for you and help you guys out to where I know Lauren's story with you guys and everything else. And the people we're kind of like doing it in secret, but this is the first time I've said it to anybody, but we're going to fix that situation to where all your members and everybody in the Legions Ladies, we're going to get you guys your shirts. We're going to get you guys like stickers made again, all that kind of stuff. And it's all from us to, support you guys and get you guys going again. And people have donated and donating their time and printing and everything. So we're gonna get you everybody something.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm telling you guys here for the first time, and I'm excited for it. We're real close and making the number to, pay for it all and everything. So it's right there. And it's just a matter of just printing them up soon to where you guys will get all new stuff, and we'll even get you a couple extras. So when we do a show like this again, we'll be able to give out some awesome Legions Lady merch.
That is amazing. We cannot thank you enough. That's just awesome.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. I promise you. Like I'm just excited for you. Like it's just one of those things. Like after hearing some of the stories and I feel like you guys are at that point too, where like we need to get you guys some cool merch and shirts and get you situated to where we can print that stuff out and if the girls want more of them and sweaters and stickers and this, like we'll get you set up with those people to where they can just order it and get sent out, and it helps you guys out and then gets the name out there even more. We get more women collecting. So I just, my wife walks around with her Legions Lady shirt that Lauren made and, got to her and all that kind of stuff. So she just thinks that's cool.
I've got the Euro Legions on today, but generally I have my Legions Lady shirt on while I'm doing the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be fantastic. I am super excited now. Cannot wait.
Yeah, it'll be soon. So like, I'll let you ladies know, and we'll make a post on it in the main Cabal, and then when you guys are ready, we'll let you know and get everybody's information, and we're sending shirts to all the girls, everybody.
That's awesome. Yay!
We're not sending it to any of those dudes out there for free,
Make them pay.
Yeah. Tell Ryan he's got tell Ryan like no. All those other guys like Van. I know Van is gonna try to sneak in, and Curtis and all them trying to sneak into the chat. They're like, no. But we're gonna get that fixed and situated, and I'm looking forward to that. That's that excitement. So
that is fantastic. We cannot thank you guys enough. This community, I tell you, every single day, I am very, very happy and blessed and thankful for this community.
So fun.
All right, Walter, we are going to let you go. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We so appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me,
Walter. And I hope to see you in Toylanta.
I got a whole bunch of stuff I got to do and schedule and all that fun stuff. Okay. I can't wait to see everybody. You know. So.
Well, we will see you as soon as we can.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, Walter. All right. Okay, one last thing that we need to do. I just want to thank everybody and just how wonderful it is to have the community that we have and to have all the shows upcoming. Just any day that you're looking for a show, know that there's probably going to be one available. So, and I did not add Tuesday on opposite weeks of Legion's Lair. I don't know if you saw it, but Duarte, Brian Almeida, is doing, he's teaching you how to do dios. And that's on Tuesday, opposite of Legion's Lair. So I think this upcoming Tuesday, Brian Almeida with Duarte Studios. You guys got to see that. I watched last week.
He's so talented.
It is so good. And he gives like so many tips and tricks and stuff. And it's not on there, but just know next Tuesday, if you want to watch that, it is amazing. If you've ever thought, hey, I might want to do a dio, he is the person to get that information from. And he's given out all of his tips and tricks. It is fantastic. And of course, you can see the list of the others that I have up there. Some of them, I'm not sure the days that they come on. My Wife is Going to Kill Me podcast, the Euro Legions, and Off-World. And I'm sure that there are some that I'm missing. If there are, you guys just let me know. And I will add you to my slide. I think that's it. Anything else, Amber, that we need to
No, not
say
that I
anything
can
about? Okay. Well, everybody, I hope you have an amazing night and rest of your evening. And we kept you over just a little, but we are super excited that you joined us. Thank you guys so much. Keithlyn, don't forget, text me an address. And we will see you next time.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.